to be known.
SAPC is
Let's allow
dominated
Ike.
by Zimbabweans, and they've been coming here, and they block me. I cannot talk on SAPC. Like all the media houses, they block people like me. They've got views of Zimbabweans. And I'm saying that if South Africa owes Zimbabwe, they've paid them enough.
How?
Zimbabweans, they've been coming here
How did
since
they
the
pay?
days, when we discovered gold, they come here in our hospitals. They come here, doing all sorts of crimes. Thabo Mbeki, at some point, when he was still a president, Eskom wanted money. I think it was about 6 billion per annum. That was owed.
Not 6 billion, 600 million.
6 billion. I'm talking about 6 billion.
Which-
Let's allow him Rutendo.
Rand.
But
Let's
I
allow
can't
him
speak
Rutendo,
you.
let's
You see,
allow-
that's what they do, even in our radio stations. So 6 billion rands. They wanted it from Eskom annually. Mugabe said he won't pay that money because Thabo Mbeki, he's got mines that side. And remember, Thabo Mbeki didn't do illegal mining there. He followed all the laws.
Can we verify this?
We can verify after, please.
Yes.
Please, let's allow.
And we cannot suffer in perpetuity. And even if you claim to have helped us, we are independent people. We can deal with whoever that we want to deal with. Most people in Zimbabwe, I don't know, they begrudge us because they say maybe we are cozy with white people. They expelled white people. And I can tell you, most South Africans, they worked, even during apartheid, in white companies that you want us, to antagonize, that your people come to work for. But you want South Africans, ordinary South Africans, to antagonize white people. I mean, it is white companies employing the most here. Even during apartheid, South Africans' lives were better, or it was better during apartheid than it is now.
But can I ask him a question on this issue? Just
Please,
a
wait,
question.
are you
Just
done? Ike, can you ask a question?
I'll continue.
On that-
Can you ask a question?
I want
I
to ask
can.
a question.
Okay.
But Ike, these companies you are bragging about, these whites you are bragging about, they are building these companies by destroying companies in Zimbabwe. They are destroying companies and competition in Zimbabwe. That's why they are able to look after you. Tina Zimbabweans, we don't want white people. We want what they stole, which is in your banks. When you took the money from the white farmers, what do you call that?
I was talking about during apartheid, long before
Oh, yeah.
you started.
But let's
preaching-
come to
you
this where
started
you're
to
saying
preach
we are following
open
white
open
people.
borders. I'm saying that when
You said
South
we're
Africa,
following white people.
South
Allow him
Africa,
to-
South Africa was sanctioned. We did not blame everyone else, as they say with the Puremaka plan. They came up with petrol from coal. What
And the Buddha fell.
What is so difficult about Zimbabweans, in facing inwards and say, okay, it's fine, we understand what the external can do, the external international world can do, but we've got farms, we've taken the farms, we've got gold, we've got mines, What's so difficult about Zimbabweans taking care of their own people? Actually, they'll be fighting for ZEP.
I'll answer that
They
question
want-
because you
I mean,
asked it.
Wait,
They want to
But I
use-
need to answer that question.
They want to
That's
use
fine,
South
that's fine.
Africa as a social security, including Malawi, Lesotho. And South Africa cannot, be abused under these ZEPs, which is illegal. And by the way, ZEPs was introduced by another Zimbabwean minister, Malusi Nkanyezi Kigamba.
That's a conspiracy theory.
I asked him this question. I asked Malusi.
People
ukuthi-
said you are in the belly from Zimbabwe.
I asked Malusi Nkanyezi Kigamba, was he born in Zimbabwe?
They also say you are a Zimbabwean. They say your father was part of the Gukurahundi people who were taken by
I
the
can
Boers.
verify where I was.
But-
I can
but you get where I'm going with
I
that.
can verify. No, but I'm saying that I asked him personally, and he could not answer. I said, Faye Kimento said so, and there was information that has been erased anyway, Yeah, but I'm saying that South Africans, they cannot, suffer in perpetuity because Zimbabwe has a crisis that they are not willing to solve.
But let me answer your question.
Allow him to finish, Rutendo.
Well, no, 2 seconds.
Wait,
I
Rutendo,
wanna-
he
I
needs
wanna
to give
ask
you
him-
permission.
I wanna
He needs to
ask
give
him-
you
I wanna
permission.
ask him for
Okay,
permission.
But he needs, sure.
I want to
Can you
answer
ask-
one
can you
question
ask-
you've
okay,
been
it's fine.
asking.
Thank
Right.
you.
You said, why do Zimbabweans run from the mines and the farms and the platinum? Zimbabweans have got the land, the platinum, but they need capital to run those things. And I'm gonna finish 2 seconds. And the issue is that when we were under apartheid, when we were under colonialism and apartheid, we were looted over $1.5 trillion by the same whites, many of them were here.
Everybody's looting
So
you.
people are coming and looking for that capital that was looked at, and we want to work for it and just return it and invest in Zimbabwe, like the Jews do, like the Irish do, and like the British do, who are 5 million here in South Africa.
Let
as
me
well.
tell you what Zimbabweans should be pushing. Instead of complaining about sanctions and it's everyone's problem, Zimbabweans, they should be, ZANU-PF, talking an African bank. They should have supported Gaddafi's vision of having an African currency. You know, if they want to ship and move goods around, have their own currency or African currency, they should be talking along that line. To say, no, establish an African bank, currency that is backed by gold, like Gaddafi was
Who
trying.
told you that they didn't support Gaddafi?
That was like, you know, they did it because they're quiet now.
No,
Gaddafi's dead.
we're
Gaddafi's
the
dead.
only country with the
They're-
gold
they're-
currency
But they're
now.
not carrying on that.
We've
you
got
know.
a gold currency. We're the only country with the
They're
gold
not carrying
currency in
on
Zimbabwe.
That vision.
We're
But
the only
instead-
country with the
instead-
Let's allow him, Rutendo. You've said.
Instead, you pointing fingers at everyone and say, you owe us 6 billion. These figures, they come from the sky. You owe us 7 billion. You owe us 10,000 men. South Africans have suffered the most. No,
How? How have you
let me
suffered?
tell you,
How many people did you lose in
It's
apartheid?
all good to talk history, you know, what happened, what did not happen. But I'm saying in the now, South Africans, they want their country back. You know, as much as Robert Mugabe said, Zimbabwe is mine. He told Tony Blair, Zimbabwe is mine. South Africans, they want their country back. They say, you know what, we've never hated these guys, even though they came here when, you know, we were on strike during the potato boycott. They brought Zimbabweans and Malawi workers to work in the fields, and here we were protesting. Our livestock was killed because we were forced to work in the mines, and foreigners just came in and took those jobs. You know, they work for the same white people. But they're saying, in spite of all that, you know, let people come into their country legally, you know. And I said,
But you were not going legally,
you know,
Ike.
yeah?
Luna, you were not going legally into our
Listen,
countries when we got
How many-
attacked for
don't
harboring you.
I mean, 2 people go to exile, 15 million people
No, no,
come
no.
here. So, and can
Let's-
I say-
let's give each other a chance, please.
15 million people come here and they all claim to be economic.
But they don't cause you to get attacked.
They even designed a new term called economic refugees. The term economic refugees started with Zimbabweans.
They
Prior
don't
that-
cause you to get attacked.
No, prior
Sorry,
that, no. In all the wars, when there's xenophobic clashes, it is South Africans who are at the receiving end. They die the most, and they
How?
are displaced the most.
How?
Even when Cyril Ramaphosa went to apologize in Nigeria, it was 10 South Africans died vis-a-vis 2 foreigners.
But
you-
we lost 600,000
and-
people in
Yeah, but
in
that's a
SADC.
number.
How many did you lose?
I can say that we lost 4 million.
Guys,
that
can
number
I
is
please
coming
get
from
in
the
here?
sky. But
Can I please get in
I'm
here?
talking about